Hi, you're welcome to GMath class. Let's solve the following quadratic equations. The first one, x minus 3 times 2x minus 2 equals to 0. Now, how do we solve this type of quadratic equation? Now, when you look at what we have here, we have two numbers multiplying each other. The first is x minus 3 is an entity, that is the one is in the bracket. This another one in the bracket. So we have two numbers multiplying each other. The result is 0. So when you have two numbers multiplying each other and the result is 0, one of them must be 0 or both are 0. You know, I can't have 2 times 7 and I'll have 0. Is either I have 2 times 0 to have 0, or 0 times a number to have 0, or 0 times 0. Alright, so these two numbers are multiplying each other to have 0. So one of them must be 0 or both of them are 0. So it's either x minus 3 equals to 0 or 2x minus 2 equals to 0. So now you can try and make x to be the square root of the formula here. So you move this to this end, we have x equals to 3 or 2x equals to 2. So we have x equals to 3 or x equals to, so you divide both sides by the coefficient of 2 of x here, which is 2. That's 2 divided by 2. So and that gives you 1. So in this case we have x equals to 3 or x equals to 1. So that is the answer to the first part of the question. Now let's look at the second one. We have 2x times 11 minus x equals to 0. 2x times 11 minus x equals to 0. So it's either 2x equals to 0 or 11 minus x equals to 0. Alright, so here you can divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So we have x equals to 0 over 2, or now you move this one to this side, we have minus x equals to minus 11. Alright, so therefore x equals to 0, because it's 0 divided by 2, it's going to be 0, or x equals to 11. Why is it 11? You divide both sides by minus 1. Right, so that's the answer to the second question. Now let's look at the third one. We have a squared minus 9 equals to 0. Now, when you look at this 9 is the same thing as 3 raised to the power of 2. We have a squared minus 3 squared equals to 0. And don't forget, difference of two squares. We have difference of two squares. When we have x squared minus y squared, the answer will be what? X minus y, x plus y. So that is what I'm going to do here. So this, you can compare this with this. So this is my x and this is my y. So that means this left hand side will turn to a minus 3, a plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, using principle of difference of two squares. So now in this case we now have a minus 3 equals to 0 or a plus 3 equals to 0. So therefore a equals to 3. When you move this minus 3 to this side, it turns to plus 3, or a equals to minus 3. So that is the answer to the third one. Let's look at the last one. We have 25y squared equals to 16. Okay, so here you can bring this one to this side. We have 25y squared minus 16 equals to 0. So this can be written as 5y squared minus 4 squared equals to 0. So when you square this one, you have 25y squared. 5 times 5, 25. Y times y, y squared. So 4 times 4 is 16. I will still use the principle of difference of two squares, just like we did here. So this is now going to be 5y minus 4, 5y plus 4 equals to 0. Okay, so now we now have 5y minus 4 equals to 0, or 5y minus 4 plus 4 equals to 0. So 5y equals to, when you move this one here, it becomes plus 4. That's 4. Or 5y equals to minus 4. So what do we do next? You divide both sides by the coefficient of y. So we have y equals to 4 over 5, or y equals to minus 4 over 5. And this is the answer to the fourth one. I want to believe you have learned one or two things. So based on the explanation given now, let's try the following question. Solve the following quadratic equations. Roman numeral 1, p minus 3 times 2p plus 1 equals to 0. And the second one, 49x squared minus 4 equals to 0. I want you to make an attempt